What's going on, Daydreamer family? It's your boy Jay, and I'm sorry for looking a little bit rough, but that's because we're going to pull another all-night challenge. That's right. Just like we did, right when we first started our channel, we used to pull these little crazy little, how would you want to call it, like all-night shenanigans where we're just pretty much goofing around. So we're pretty much going to do another one of those. Well, before we get to today's video, we want to encourage you guys to please subscribe and become a part of the best family out there, one of the littest family out there. That's the Daydreamer family, of course. That's us. So if you want to become a part of the best family out there, just subscribe, press that bell notification bell button, like our video, comment down below done, and that's it, and you're a part of the squad. What we're going to do is we're going to go wake up my little sister Kay, and we're going to see if she's down to do the video. So let's go get her. Okay. Parents are asleep. You want to have an all-night challenge? Parents are asleep. You want to have another all-night challenge? Sure. Yeah, you do. Sure. Alright, see you down there. Alright guys, so Kay's awake. Parents are already asleep. We're pretty much just going to hang out with you guys. You guys are going to be with us for a few hours after that. We're going to try to stay up until the sun comes up. We'll see how long we can do. What time is it now? It's 11:55 p.m. It's Wednesday night.
California time.
Yeah, California time. It's 11:55 p.m. So that means back home in Rochester, it's 2:55 p.m. About to be 3 o'clock in the morning. Or 2:55 a.m. Going to be 3 o'clock in the morning, not 2:55 p.m. Yeah. So I think, what do you think we should do tonight? I mean, I know something we could do right now.
What?
We can just go on YouTube and see what's trending, see what's all good on there. See, like I have it pulled up right here. So
all I see is coronavirus. Coronavirus.
Speaking about that, that's actually pretty crazy. I hope none of the Daydreamers get any coronavirus or anything, you know, because they're obviously very important to us. And something bad happened already because of coronavirus. My job actually closed. I was supposed to work yesterday, and my job closed down. So that means I'm pretty much laid off.
My school closed down. It's supposed to be for only 2 weeks, but it's a whole month. They're thinking about doing it till August.
Right. And it's like, I'm supposedly supposed to be off of work until April 7th. And we'll see how long that really goes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's to get worse before you can get better.
We'll see. Oh, I'm not trying to get worse.
Me neither.
I don't want to get sick.
Me neither.
That'll be all bad. By the way, what do you guys think about my new glasses? You guys like them? They're like old people style, but I like them.
He says.
Almost. Alright, so yeah. Let's try to find something, guys. Alright guys, so we're here on YouTube, obviously, but it's the second one, as far as right now, as far as what time is it again? It is right here, it's 11:58 p.m. So we're 2 minutes shy of it being Thursday night, Thursday morning, I mean, yeah. So, and the second video that's on the trending list here, the first one is the road to PS5, and then the second one is how to see germs spread, and then in parentheses it says
Coronavirus.
Have you guys seen that meme, the Cardi B one? This one right here. It's freaking hilarious. Me and Katie, like every time we hear the word coronavirus, or if we hear someone cough, if we see someone coughing or sneezing, we do that. But let's see what this one's all about.
I've always thought if we could somehow just see the germs around us, everyone would be a lot more careful and we'd get sick way less. Unfortunately, that's still not possible, so I did the next best thing by running a day-long experiment in this 3rd grade classroom. I found this powder called Glow Germ, and just like real germs, when it's on your hands, you can't see it. But unlike real germs, if you turn a black light on, it becomes visible. But it transfers to things you've touched, so it provides a really good way to visualize exactly how germs spread. So before the kids arrived, as a control, I went around and noted any pre-existing spots in the room that fluoresced under the black light, and then it was go time. The kids, of course, had no idea what we were doing and that the teacher had been secretly infected with the glowing powder. So she randomly shook the hands of 3 kids, but didn't touch any of the rest. And so with that, they just went about their normal day.
Dang,
Wait.
she juked those last kids.
Can you imagine, like, how do you say it? Just imagine how much stuff those kids touch and don't even wash their hands throughout the day. There's got to be germs all around that room.
Ew.
At break, I did choose one random student and he agreed to letting me put some of the powder on his hands too. And then 2 hours later at lunchtime, I checked the results. Remember, everything you see here started with just the teacher and one student having a little of that powder on their hands. And because my flashlight can only illuminate one spot at a time, I used Photoshop to better visualize our observations of where germs were left behind, including on the other kids.
Uh-oh, we're pretty hot over here. Oh, right here.
And they were actually pretty diligent about washing their hands. This was the desk of the kid that was infected. And what's crazy is that germs could live on a hard surface like this for up to 9 days. And so you can see how important it is to disinfect the things a sick person regularly.
Go grab the Lysol. We need to sanitize this table right quick. We need some kind of disinfectant. We need to disinfect this table like right now. We don't need that coronavirus.
Where the wipes at?
Yeah, disinfectant wipes. They're right there. Look, the purple ones. Yeah, get those. Oh yeah, got some hand sanitizer. Oh yep. You guys make sure that you guys always keep y'all hand sanitizer. Make sure y'all keep y'all disinfectant wipes. No sponsorship.
Germ-X? Oh wait.
No sponsorship.
Some hand sanitizer?
No, we're using Germ-X, but we're not obviously not sponsored. But I want to at least clean this area where I'm at. Grab one.
You not gonna clean my area? Fine, be like
You
that.
better clean your own area. I ain't trying to care. What if your area got coronavirus?
Don't do me. This doesn't seem to be working.
Mine's work. Look, mine's all shiny over here.
Gotta
Oh,
get
man.
through the creases and the
Yeah,
cracks.
you gotta get between there because the coronavirus could be hiding there for up to 9 days. 9
I
days
just noticed we're
is
not
too
supposed to
long.
be cleaning this table with these.
We'll
Edit it out.
no, we'll clean it later. We'll polish it later. With the, yeah. Anyways, back to the video.
touches. For example, this was the phone of the teacher in the experiment. Even if you wash your hands really often, if you immediately pull out your phone, a lot of those germs just go right back on your hands. Think about when the last time was that you cleaned your phone. My friend Joanne at the Wall Street Journal recently demonstrated you can clean your phone with an antibacterial wipe every day for at least a year, and it doesn't affect the oleophobic coating at all. And this hopefully gives you a better mental model of why it's really important to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer after being at places like this, or this, or this, or this. Cleaning commonly touched surfaces is important because even if a virus is spread through airborne transmission, those tiny droplets don't stay in the air for long. Then they land on surfaces waiting to be touched by our hands. Which raises an important point. The ultimate defense against catching a virus is just don't touch your face. Your eyes, nose, and mouth are like the single weak spot on the Death Star when it comes to viruses. That's the only way they can get in to infect you. But as you can see here, not touching your face is easier said than done. And before you think, yeah, well that's just kids for you, this was what the teacher's face looked like at the end of the day, and she said she tried extra hard to remember not to touch her face. I found this result fascinating, so I put the powder on my own hands for a few hours, and I resisted the urge to touch my face so many times that I fully expected I was going to have a perfectly clean face and the moral high ground. And then this is what I saw. What the heck? I genuinely have no idea when any of this came on. Until I reviewed the footage. Oh, well, there you go. On average, we touch our face 16 times an hour, which is why washing hands is so important. It's impossible to catch a virus directly through your hands. It's as futile as shooting the outer surface of the Death Star. The problem is we use our hands to help the virus out by constantly giving it a ride to our figurative Death Star exhaust ports. Because of this, I ran another experiment with some of the kids after lunch. First, I had them put some lotion on their hands that also glows under a black light. But then I told them I made a mistake and used the wrong lotion. Can you guys just go wash your hands real quick? And do a good washing, right?
1 second.
Yeah, do the right washing, okay? I just tricked you guys again. Because what I really wanted to do is test how good you are at washing your hands. So guess what I'm gonna do now?
Where does
Show me your hands.
But before I show you how effective they actually were at washing their hands, here's what you should quickly know about viruses. They're super tiny, but also the most abundant biological entity on the planet. In fact, there's over 10 million viruses in any single drop of seawater. And a lot of types of viruses are beneficial to the planet's ecosystem, and only an insanely tiny percentage affect humans at all. And they're really simple. Viruses are basically a shell with some DNA inside, and they just want to spread and duplicate. That's their only goal. But they're so simple that they need a host to do that. So they reproduce by infecting their host cells and then trick them to become factories that just make more exact copies of the virus. When you get sick and then cough or sneeze or wipe your nose and then touch a surface, you're putting copies of this virus out to find other hosts and just repeat the process. And so here's what the kids' hands look like after washing their hands.
Uh-oh, look at the backs. Let me see your fingernails. Oh, look at all those germs. Oh, your thumb.
Oh my God!
Oh, look at your wrist. Look at your wrist.
We all sort of have a habitual way of washing our hands. So once again, I tried this myself using the typical quick way I do it in my muscle memory. Granted, that's better than nothing, but you can see the difference compared to when I was deliberate and took 20 seconds. Which is why it helps to do things like sing the happy birthday song twice, or you could do what I do and follow Brandon Flowers' example.
Jealousy, turning saints in eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.
And then for a final experiment, I wanted to show how dumb handshaking is, so I infected the first kid with the powder and then had them do a handshake chain down the line. The fifth person here still had significant traces on their hand, so I put him at the first and lined 4 more kids up after him, and 3 of their hands glowed. So we got trace germs from the original person all the way down 8 handshakes later. So if you ever meet me in real life, please don't be offended if in lieu of a handshake, I offer you a fist bump and a selfie. In conclusion, what does this all mean with regards to the coronavirus COVID-19? You should be concerned and take this seriously, but regardless of what you see in the coming weeks, there's absolutely no need to panic. As I'm sure you've heard a bunch by now, our goal is to flatten the curve so that the reported cases stay just under the capacity of the healthcare system. And social distancing is the best knob that we can turn to affect that. The reason this helps should hopefully make more sense after watching this video, especially for those who have been doubting the science and feeling like this is an extreme reaction. And my take here is I'm a practical optimist. The upside is while this virus is bad, it could be way worse. And this gives us a chance as a global community to get some systems and methods in place to handle something potentially even more drastic in the future. Also, maybe it will lead to changing some social norms, like replacing handshakes with fist bumps, or when people are really sick, thinking it's okay to mingle about and go to work. Globally, the normal flu kills anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 people a year, due in large part to people not practicing good germ hygiene. So if this experience makes people more socially aware of the right precautions to take when they get sick, that will save countless lives for years to come, long after this coronavirus is old news. And make no mistake, this is going to be rough for some more than others, but history has shown that us humans are pretty resilient. These types of things can bring out the worst in us, but they can also bring out the best, most wholesome parts of us, like these Italians practicing their social distancing with an impromptu balcony concert. How we feel about the situation is largely dependent on just which part we choose to focus on. For me, that means being grateful to the heroes in our healthcare system, or the school lunch ladies still providing free lunch for kids who depend on them, or the scientists all over the world who are working tirelessly 7 days a week to create better testing methods and a vaccine. This is gonna be a bumpy ride for us, but the economy will eventually bounce back, as it always does, and we'll be better off as a global community for having gone through this. Again, take this seriously, but there's absolutely no need to panic. We totally got this.
I went into work to clock in. They was like, Jay, you ain't even got to clock in. You're going to be off for the next 3 weeks. I'm like, I had the whole complete opposite reaction to that. I mean, like, I was like, I need my monies. I need my monies.
You? I'm going into sophomore year with no new grades.
Hey, but you had A's and B's though, so you're good. So either way, you're good. Make sure y'all wash y'all hands. 20 seconds, front
Sing that
and
happy
back,
birthday song
twice.
I'm going to wash my hands.
And once you're done with that, you guys gotta make sure you drain it off with a paper towel, and you turn off the faucet with the paper towel. Because if not, just washing your hands was pointless. Because you're just gonna pick up the same germs you used when you turned on the water faucet. Does that make sense? Yes? No? Okay. So,
Happy birthday to you.
yes, we're about to figure out what we're gonna do next. Alright guys, so it's obviously the next day, and reason being because, I mean, yeah, we attempted to do this challenge, but we didn't get too far. Kaylee, you want to explain why?
So we were watching a show, right? And we was both laying down. 2 minutes later into the show, it's like, I hear, and I look over and he's sleeping. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put this.
It was a long day because we had a whole bunch of stuff that we were doing. I mean, we were trying to be productive with ourselves, and then on top of that, it was like a last minute decision where I was like, hey Kay, let's like, because I saw Dad going upstairs, as you guys seen earlier in the video, and then I was just like, Kay, what do you think? Should we just do an all-night challenge? And anytime that I ask her if she wants to film a video, she never says no. So I figured it'd be like the perfect opportunity, but not even knowing that I personally wasn't even ready for this challenge. So I guess you could say we failed this challenge, but we're going to give this challenge another try some other time. So what do you think we should do today? I think we should go definitely stock up because of this whole virus thing, and we should be here on lockdown soon because as you guys may know, we're here in Lemoore, California. The next place, like the real close place nearby, is Fresno, and they went on lockdown. I think it was what, yesterday or the day before yesterday?
The day before yesterday.
They went on lockdown because of this whole virus thing, and we might be next. So we want to make sure we stock up on our food. You guys should also do the same if you guys are not locked down yet. So make sure you guys do that. And we're also gonna possibly go house hunt some more. So I guess you could say this will be
I'm excited for that one.
Oh yeah, I was about to say you can give us a big thumbs up if you guys are ready for this one, because the last video where we was house hunting, it was pretty funny to me. So this one should be real good. And also say hi to Mrs. Mom. She's back. Yeah, Mrs. Mom is back. So anyways, just stay tuned for the houses, stay tuned for us shopping, and we're also going to speak a little bit on this virus, on what we think about it. Right now, all I can say before we get into depth of that part of the video, I just want to say I want to send my prayers out to those who are with the virus. I hope you guys are strong enough to overcome this virus, you know, and I just hope that everything turns out in your favor. So let's just stop talking and get to the video, right? All right, guys, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace.
Wait forevermore.